what I really wanted to talk about was how lucky I am, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. I bought this car from a guy, and he didn't have the key to it. He said the key was in his pants pocket up in Moosehead, and he's going to go get the key and mail it to me. Well, I've had this car for a couple of weeks, maybe 3, and I called him the other day and I said, you know, I got the motor going in this and I still don't have a key. It's in the mail, he said. That was a week ago. It's in the mail. So, key never did show up. So, this morning I got up and checked the post office and it wasn't there, and I was thinking, man, I wish I had a key for this thing. Not that I couldn't wire one. I've got an ignition switch over there, but it's about half as big as a baseball, and you know, it's just a big old clunky thing to have to find a place to put in here. But I was just thinking, well, I wish I had me a switch. Well, this fella rode up on his Harley Davidson a while ago and pulled this out of his pocket and said, I thought you might could use this. He's a brother of the guy that I bought the engine from, and he just had it, and he just says, here, maybe you can use this. He knew I was looking for one, so just brought me one, and how about that? That's pretty perfect. So I'm going to take this old one out. They're almost exactly the same, very similar. And I'm going to take the old one out, put the new one in. And then once it's a turnkey automobile, I'm going to reset the valves, reset the timing, reset the points, adjust the carburetor, redo the electrical thing to the electric choke on the carburetor. That should get it running pretty good. And then the next 2 things I'll have to do is to straighten out the wiring and get brakes on it. But you know, everything is a process, so I thought, well, getting this switch in here is a good part of the process. That'll move me a long ways in the right direction. And it looks to me like if I just plug all these wires into the right place, this one will be good and ready to go. So, and then I'll need to mount this up under the dash where this other one was mounted. So that looks pretty easy, pretty simple, and I'll get to work on that and we'll go from there. One of the things that a few people have pointed out to me is that this car has a kind of a rare steering column lock that was only on a few cars. This one doesn't have a key and there's no insides to it. What I mean by that is, if I get this mirror up in here where I can see it, it looks to me like there's a locking mechanism that inserts into the back of that would have the electronic components, and then you could put the electronic components into place if you had a key for this and make that work. And I think that might be pretty cool, since it is kind of a rare thing on this car to get it working. Of course, it would involve getting a locksmith first of all, and probably getting the electronic components from somewhere second of all, but it would be doable. In the meantime, my thinking is to try to get this replacement key as close to the original as possible. The other guy had this hung up under the dash over here, which wasn't a bad idea. I could do something similar to that, but I was thinking it would be a little cooler if I could actually slip it right up in here. One thing, it'd be out of the way of your knees and stuff. But if I had a little hole drilled right about there, then I could bolt that right there, and it would sit right there, and it would serve the purpose until I get around to, you know, redoing this part. So, so that moved me out here to the outside, the underside, where the hole would come through. And of course, out here I have the remains of a rat's nest. So it seems like the kindest thing I could do for myself and for the car and for any rat's bones that might be left in there is to vacuum out all that crap. So I've got R2D2. This is my vacuum cleaner, and we're going to go to town on that. That might also help. Trish keeps saying the car has a funny smell to it. Well, vacuuming up all the rat poop might help with that too. You never know. Alright, while I was in there I saw a light hole. I've got a hole here somewhere that I could see. Oh yeah, look at there. There's a hole right there. And I should be able to, this thing has a screw on the back side of it. I should be able to set that right there. Look at there. Put that screw through there. And have that set right like that. Man, that'd work perfectly. This is one of those jobs where I need somebody on the outside holding the screw, though. How can I do this with just two hands? Well, the screw fits through the hole good. So all I need to do is get somebody on the outside with me on the inside, and we can screw that right together. So, I wonder if I can get one hand inside the car and one hand outside the car and make that happen. I'm going to have to do some contortioning here and see what I can come up with.